The cargoes were skids of the Malaysian Kasawari gas development project. There were 3 skids with the same weight of 236 tons. And the dimensions of each were 20 meters in length, 11.5 meters in width, and 7.1 meters in height. The skids' owner demanded them to be transported safely, without being struck or scratched. The criteria were particularly stringent because they were gas pipelines, utilized for gas pipelines of the gas plant. To guarantee safety, we must carefully study the load-out procedure given by the shipper. Then we must arrange appropriate equipment, perform surveys, calculate, and recommend the best solution. After we created the transportation plan, the owner and maritime surveyors would review and formalize the procedure. The load-out procedure included 4 steps. Firstly, receive the skids from Vina Offshore Factory. Secondly, transporting the skids from Vina Offshore Factory to Dong Suyen Port's jetty. Third, loading out the skids from the jetty onto the barge. Lastly, lowering the skids on the grillages and concrete blocks, and pull SPMT and other equipment out of the barge. Previously, not just me but also the PPL team had handled many heavy lift cargoes, loading in and loading out heavy skids. The largest cargo we have loaded out so far is 3,200 tons at Vung Tau Port. For this project, we needed specialized transport equipment. Firstly, SPMT trailers were used in 2 segments of 12 axles each, for a total of 24 axles, to receive and transport the skids from Vina Offshore's plant to Dong Suyen Port's jetty. The most difficult requirements of this project were: the transportation route was very narrow and filled with various obstacles, therefore, we had to use special trailers. The route from Vina Offshore to Dong Suyen Port was around 1 kilometer long, with several bends. There were trees and electricity cables along the path. It was extremely difficult to transport cargoes along this route. After analyzing, we chose the SPMT self-propelled trailers. They have the capacity to raise and lower themselves, and have the possibility of 360-degree steering of the wheels. The SPMT was a specific device for transporting equipment in confined spaces. The loadout depended on the tides. Because one side was the barge on the water, and the other side was the jetty. Vietnam, more specifically Vung Tau, has a semi-diurnal tidal, which means we have 2 high tides and 2 low tides every day. As a result, to secure a safe process, we had to calculate and measure the tides. We had to check the tidal data and assign staff to measure the actual tides 2 to 3 days before the loadout. This was to ensure the synchronicity between the actual tides and the tide chart. Next, we operated a hydraulic and electric winch system to moor the barge at the jetty.
PPL loadout project was exceptionally efficient. Other logistics companies had won this bid, but withdrew at the last minute due to the lack of equipment and technicians. PPL's technical procedure, when deployed, was excellent because they had access to all the required equipment. We were pleased with their high standard of service quality. The technical staffs were very competent. They always put safety first and ensured to complete the project as quickly as possible, while maintaining an efficient budget. All site employees' safety was their top priority. They impressed us with their work in all aspects and we were very confident while working with them. We look forward to working with PPL soon.